Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing Dungeon Universalis. Now, after we did the last mission successfully, each hero gained 2 experience points, and that allowed me to basically improve every hero at least by 1. Some of them actually by more than that. Now the thing is, if you remember my video about the house rules, I talked about I want to get the option to increase or improve the skills. And for example, this guy is a trapper, he could become an advanced trapper by spending, for example, 6 experience points or 2 development points, and then I don't know, we could somehow modify this thing and gotta find something cool about that. But there's also this part of the house rule was that you need at least 3 base skills. And these are not your starting base skills. So basically you first have to develop 3 basic skills during the game before you can advance in one of them. And if you manage to advance in 2 skills, you can then again become a master in one of these 2 advanced skills. So that's the way I want to try it. Right now nobody had 3 skills. This guy was close, but well, he had 2 and he had 6 experience points. So I got him 1 more skill, and if I get another 3 experience points, I can start to advance in one of these 3 skills. But let's start here. So this guy also got 1 additional skill. Actually, no, also 2 skills. So he was a berserker until now. He had the hardy, the onslaught, and the tough as a starting skill. And the berserker he gained during the missions. And apart from that, I think I gave him a fortune, and I'm not quite sure. But now he got the strong skill. Character increases his strength by 1, and that can exceed even the raise maximum. So I think this is kind of cool. It's simple, straightforward skill. And then we got the lucky here. Once per quest, as soon as a treasure card is revealed, the character may take 1 more random card from the deck. He can keep the one he deems better. I think that will also pay off, simply because I know that one of these treasure cards, for example, simply says the chest is empty, and I would be really fucked if that happens. I would be totally pissed. So I thought this could be helpful in finding more valuable items. The scout, I gave her the ambush, which basically gives her another +1 to his initiative rolls. And if his group wins the initiative, characters with ambush may re-roll their first failed attack roll. So that's also great. And she now also has 3 skills that she gained because of experience point. The sharp senses and the eagle eye, these were starting skills. So now she can also try to advance somehow. Okay, the Dwarf. The Dwarf is now a tricky fighter. A minimum value of 4 is required in intelligence, only for melee attacks. If a character rolls doubles and manages to hit, the target's armor will be reduced in 1. For this attack. This means the character was skillful enough to find his enemy's weak point. So what's kind of interesting here is that we have, these are, I'm not sure, I think this kind of means active skills or something, and you can only use 2 of them at the same time. And I think I can decide which one that will be. So usually I think I'm not going to use the Trapper, only in specific situations. And this is a little weird anyway, because it seems to be basically a defensive skill. Character may activate a trap as soon as an enemy moves 2 or is activated in a square which is 3 or less spaces away from him. So therefore that does not really somehow conflict with the 2 other skills. And that means I can basically use my fast attacks and the tricky fighter. And that's pretty cool, because here I can roll 3 dice. And combining this with the tricky fighter then means that if I roll doubles on these 3 dice, and I have to take the higher value. So I cannot freely choose. So if I would, for example, if I would roll 2 times a 3 and a 4, I have to take the 3 and the 4, because it says you have to choose the 2 most favorable results. But still, I think it's a pretty good chance that I think my chances to roll doubles are a little higher, but I'm not sure about that. But I think they are. So she ended up with the Secrets of Magic. Now I can't help myself. I think that these lore skills, most of them are just not that great. I could imagine that the reason for that is that the most creatures that use them mainly are spellcasters, and the spells themselves are pretty awesome. So therefore maybe they say, okay, we kind of want to balance that a little bit, and we keep these a little less powerful. So the Secrets of Magic, character can use an action in order to detect the effects of any magical objects and relics found during the game, which is pretty pointless because I've never had that. To do so must pass it. Okay, whatever. Only 1 attempt per object is allowed. Besides, he and other characters inspecting sections less than 6 spaces away from him will find treasures with a result of 5 or 6. Now I'm speculating about that a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'm lucky here. I'm considering now searching a little more the area, also with my new house roll, which gives you an additional point whenever you kind of are successfully searching and get a certain number of coins. So therefore, maybe I'm going to do that a little more now, and then this maybe might be helpful. It's not terrible rare that you roll 5s or 6. I mean, yeah, it's not that common either, but there are just not that many good things going on, I think. So therefore, yeah, I think I'm going to try that. If we can get 1 or 2 additional magic objects during the game, well, even that is very hard. But if we get 1 or 2 additional treasures during the game, you know, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. It's not that great. But, okay. Okay, so now let's go back to the quest here. So we managed to kind of save this guy back here. It was an assassination, which wasn't successful. We saved him. And now he gave us each $10. And now we'll see what happens. Blasian, one of the old counselors in the royal palace, observes the dagger you recovered from the attack. His little eyes scrutinize its scarfed wooden handle from behind the thick lenses of his glasses. I wouldn't have been surprised if this murder had been commissioned by the governor of Verneck, or one of the most influential families in that city, says the old man. Their power is growing, and they probably think they can destabilize Babel this way. Bible. But the origin of this dagger makes me doubt. There are characters that only a master of dark magic could reproduce. They are words alluding to underworld creatures. Demons, one of you mumbles. That's right. The murderer could serve the sorcerer of the underworld who lives in the nearby hills. It wouldn't be unreasonable. We have suffered his curses for years, and we have not yet found his lair. But there are not too many areas left to search in the region. Okay, so the next mission is then number 13. And that says the magic portal. The old counselor's words are resolute. It is of vital importance that you find that sorcerer from the underworld and capture him. His dark practices must have an end behind bars. Well, I'm a little bit afraid of this guy. They seem to be very confident in us. You're all not in agreement. You can't afford to falter when you get a mission straight from a king. The counselor stiffens his beard before proceeding. Of course, the king will generously reward you if you give us that bastard. One of you dares to ask about the king of creatures that escort the sorcerer, the kind of creatures. That scoundrel has been summoning demons for years, the counselor mumbles. It seems that he hides in a secret chamber protected by a magic portal that only opens once certain mechanisms have been activated. After you manage to open the portal, you will have a limited time to get through it and capture the sorcerer. 2 of our best scouts will help you find the entrance to this lair. Okay, so we are here at the Kingdom of Bible, in Bible. And I went to the blacksmith. And to make just again a house rule, I'm not gonna allow pretty much everything to be available. I know there are some rare items that you have to roll, but I randomized that much more, and in the end it turned out that the weapons that are available are basically not too interesting. I thought about maybe changing my setup a little bit. Thought about giving him a shield and maybe another weapon because he's now even stronger. But the more I think about that, there's no really interesting one-handed weapon here. He already has an axe. So I could give him a shield, but let's think about that. I think this is all not too interesting, not too exciting. Same about the long-range weapons. I got that magic bow that blows everything else away. Now we have an elven shield here, which is a rare item or an uncommon item. So that is kind of cool. But honestly, it's not that great either. It's a good shield. But I just don't think I want that. Armor, we have an Elven Armor here. That was really lucky. I actually managed to roll a 9. So we have the Elven Armor. And yes, I think I'm gonna buy that thing. It costs $15. That's a lot. It's light armor, which is really cool. And you get a -1 on agility and dexterity. And the user takes 1 less damage die against melee and ranged weapons. So this is very, very good. Now, for a moment, I thought about getting rid of this leather armor here, her leather armor, and giving that to her. Because, well, first of all, I thought I'm going to give this thing to him because he's the big fighter, and she gets then the studded armor. But the problem is it also decreases her perception. And I really don't think I want to do that. She is the scout. She needs her maximum perception. And therefore, I think I'm going to stick to the leather armor here. I thought about giving her the Elven Armor then instead, but the problem is she also will lose 1 dexterity. And again, as the scout, well, on the other hand, yeah, I mean, that might actually be an option. If I give that thing to her, I could make her the lady to disarm the traps. But the problem is if we have a locked door, then you want her to do it. Because one thing that really bothers me a little bit about this whole thing is that when you open a locked door, you unlock it and it immediately opens. I'm not sure if this is something I like. I would prefer to unlock the door and then I can still decide if I want to open it or not. In this way, I could send someone who has a little bit of higher dexterity to unlock the door, and then with a scout I could open the door and go for the initiative roll. So yeah, I mean that would be something that seems a little more reasonable to me, but I'm gonna follow the main rules here. So I think what I'm simply doing is I'm probably gonna simply sell the started armor, which is a bit of a shame because it's kind of cool, for $3. You can sell stuff for half the value. And then I'm gonna buy the Elven Armor for $12. 10, 20. Yeah, I think this is actually something I want to do. But you know what? Before I do that, I'm actually gonna go to this magic school or something and see if they have a magic item there, or what magic item they have here for this year. Okay, so it says there are 3 random magic objects for sale. So before I spend my money on the Elven Armor, I'm gonna check out these objects, and we'll see if they are better or not. Let's find out. And they will stay there for the rest of the year. Now, I'm not sure for how long that's going to be, to be honest, because I'm not tracking the weeks, but we'll find out. Now, there is an agility mace. That's pretty cool. On a critical hit, equal or smaller sized targets are stunned. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. It's better than an X. It does a -1. It's not necessarily better than an axe because it only does a damage equal to the strength. But still, I mean, this guy could do a lot of damage with that stuff. So that might actually be an option. Oh, what is that? A naughty wand. Allows the user to move any furniture element located up to 6 squares away from him and in his line of sight. The element will move 1d3 squares in a straight line in a direction chosen by the user. It will stop its movement as soon as it is adjacent to an obstacle or character. It will cause as many damage dice as the height of the element. Okay, that is crazy. That's something I first have to try to figure out how this thing actually works. This is pretty insane. Okay, I mean, this thing actually seems pretty crazy. This is really awesome. could be possible that you can use this really to your tactical advantage during combat. Okay, that is a black arrow. Ammunition for bows. Damage dice are doubled. Only one use per quest. One use per quest, but the damage dice are doubled. Interesting. $20, that's a lot of cash. I think I would prefer the Elven Armor, to be honest, even though it's non-magic. I mean, this thing is cool. It's interesting stuff, it really is. It's really good. Okay, so I counted my money and I got an incredible amount of cash. I got about $76. That is really a lot. So what I'm going to do right now is first I'm going to sell this thing. This started armor. And yeah, I'm going to get 3. Is that what I wanted to do? Yeah, I'm going to get $3 from that. That's what I wanted to do. And then I'm going to spend $12 to buy the Elven Armor, because it's simply a little better. There's not a big difference, but actually there is. The studded armor only protects against one. You take one less damage die against bows, and that one against melee and ranged weapons. So this is clearly better. And yeah, we're gonna grab it. Fantastic. Very good. And now we got this crazy stuff here. And so the thing is, actually, I think I want to save some money, because I'm considering getting a wolf or something, and maybe even a mercenary or so. So I think I'm only gonna buy one of these magic items, but I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna put them aside somehow. And if I come back here, I can still buy some of the others. And I'm really thinking about grabbing this naughty wand. Yeah, that is, I mean, that thing is just crazy. It's not quite clear, though, how it actually works. Is that an action, for example? And this is where things get a little bit tricky. Is that an action or not? And do you need a hand to do this? It seems you don't need a hand. You know, there's no indication for that. But how do you do it then? Still, I think you probably need an action to use that thing. And I'm not sure if, I mean, $30 is a lot of money. Damn, I'm not sure if I want to grab that. Maybe that arrow is definitely cool, and I know how to use it. So actually, maybe I'm gonna go with the arrow for now, and I can still grab this wand maybe during a later visit. So I think I want to buy the arrow. That costs me $20. That leaves me with some money for the road. And yeah, I mean, that doubles. That is pretty good. That would give me 8 dice. That's really strong. And if I get a critical or something, it would be even more. So yeah, that can be very powerful. I mean, that could kill even a weak boss creature with a single shot. For example, if there is some other wizard or something, if I use that thing, there's actually a good chance I could kill him. Okay, and I also went to the combat school, and you know, just for information, I'm not following the rules that every character can visit, I don't know, 3 places or something like that. I'm simply gonna go everywhere I want. I don't want to make this more complicated than it is. So I'm gonna go to the combat school now, and here again I've changed the rules a little bit. I also kind of randomized things. Usually it says all kinds of mercenaries except religious fanatics may be hired here. Now I simply randomly draw just 2, and I can choose to hire one of the 2. Now the human shooter is not that great. I really don't think he will help me a lot. But the elf, he seems to be actually pretty interesting. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get this elf. Now the guy costs me $10. That's a lot of cash. If I want to maintain him, if I want to keep him, I only have to pay 5. So that's not so bad. But he might actually be really useful. He's a solid fighter, and you know, I mean, he's got an armor of 4. Yeah, he's okay. He's really not bad. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the elf mercenary here. Okay, so I also was at the inn. Everybody's healed. Everybody's in top condition. What about her? She, you know what? I'm thinking. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna spend the last $2 here. So she has now also her full mana. That's 8, 10. Okay, great. And yeah, so everybody is in perfect shape. We still got about $23 left. Spent quite a bit of money for the armor and the arrow, but that's okay. And of course we also spent a ton of stuff for other equipment like potions, but that's something we already did before the last quest. But this time I also bought another magic roll, so I got 2 of them. If it's going to go against a wizard, it might be a good idea. And an additional component for magic. So we're really well equipped now. We're going to cross, and I want a wolf. So the quest is here, by the way. I want to go here first, then go here to Rizul, because there is, I don't know, there you can get your pets. And then we're going to travel here down the road and go here to find our quest. So first we got to cross the bridge when we leave this city, and that means we got to talk again to the guards. We're going to try the same thing again. So she will do her best. She's got a +1 for this intelligence test here. And she easily managed to do it. So we don't have to pay any taxes or whatever. And now we're leaving here, and I'm going to take the road. Let's see. On a 4+, we're going to have an event there, and we do. Okay, so I'm going to roll a die again. That's a 2. And it says Bandit Attack. Roads are usually safe places until a band of bandits decide to attack some group of travelers. All heroes and mercenaries must pass a combat skill test. Those who fail the rule will lose 1 vitality point. The group loses a number of coins equal to the number of heroes plus 1d3. I mean, we could do this attack, but honestly, I don't want to do that. It just slows me down, and I probably would easily win that. But man, I'm really not in the mood to do this. So it kind of sucks, but anyway, let's see. So it's a combat skill test. That shouldn't be so terribly hard. We need a 5 over here. Okay. She is not that great. That's bad. She needs a 7. Ah, she blew it. That sucks. So I guess she take a wound. Yeah, well. I could spend a fortune, but honestly, I think I prefer the wound. Okay, let's see. It's this guy now. He needs a 5, I think. Yeah, he's fine. And the sorceress needs a 6, which he has. Okay, great. So 1 wound, and then we're gonna roll. We're gonna lose money. Okay, that's not so bad. We're gonna lose $5. I mean, that is actually not great, but okay. Such is life. The $5 are not a big issue, but the wound is bad. Now I'm gonna move here, and this is a forest region. So we're gonna find these forest cards. Just a moment. So 5+. And there's no event here, which is good, I guess. And then we enter this village, whatever that is. Oh God, let's find the right cards again. Oh boy. There we go, 4+. Okay, so we're gonna draw a card there too. So let's see what we get. That's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy, infraction. 1 random hero must pass an intelligence test. If he fails, the heroes will be surprised by the guards after committing a small brawl or infraction. Well, we'll see. If this is getting too bad, you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to follow this event. As I said, you know, sometimes if it becomes just annoying and it just slows you down terribly and I don't know, or you get a hero gets killed or whatever, I don't want to do that. Okay, anyway, let's see. Let's give it a shot. Maybe it's not so bad. So, a random hero. Okay, so we roll a 12-sider. One of the 4 heroes will do it. Okay, that is her. That's not so good. Oh boy, these. You know, there's a hostel close by, and there are lots of tourists, and they are just constantly screaming and drinking and whatever. So I'm gonna need a 7. Let's hope for the best here. Ah, fuck that. Do I want to re-roll that? You know, let's see what the guards say. I think the guards are not so terribly bad. A group of guards stands before you. 1 hero of your choice must roll a persuasion test against the guards. They have intelligence 3. So let's do this. She's actually in a pretty good shape here. She has a 5, so I think this should be possible. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's a draw. I guess we simply have to re-roll. If you win, that's not so sure. Yeah, I guess we just have to re-roll. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. Okay, that's good. We win this. So yeah, we're good. The guards look at you distrustfully, but allow you to stay. Okay, so overall that wasn't too bad. And that means we now get a chance to buy a pet. And again, I'm going to kind of randomize that and hope I find something reasonable here. But you know, I don't want to end up with the dog all the time. So I kind of like it a little bit random. But I want something with sharp senses. We got to pay an additional buck here because this is kind of an evil city. It's a different alignment than my group. So you got to spend an extra buck there. Okay, and it turned out in the end, we ended up with a dog again. But this time actually it's a dog and not a warhound. So this guy is not quite as good. And as I said, I basically just randomized it. I just drew cards until I found a card with the sharp senses, and that's it then. So just to get some... I remember I once had a bird of an owl or something. That's kind of cool. So, and I find it a little bit odd that you cannot get these really basic creatures like a dog or a cat in every settlement, basically. But okay, so we managed to get here, and now I'm basically, I simply want to go down here. So, and I'm going to give the dog to her. And yeah, that's it, I guess. So now we're going to move out again, and I guess we have to roll again for the... I'm going to have to roll again for the woods, which was, if I remember that right, a 5+. Okay, nothing in the woods. Then we can enter this area here, and we're going to take the road again, which is, I don't know, was it a 4+? Yeah, that was a 4+. Okay, and then I'm going to enter this area, which is also road. Okay, nothing here. So now we're in the area where we actually wanted to go, and we can simply go to the quest here. Okay, so we start the adventure, and you can see here we have that corridor here, staircase. I think it goes up, some kind of, I don't know, maybe a tower or something. I'm not sure what it is. Seems to go up, and there's a door back here. Now that door is locked. So we got to try to open it, and if things go wrong we have to destroy it, which would obviously suck. By the way, I'm going to spend my pack of provisions here to heal that 1 life point that I took from the Bandit's Attack. I probably simply could have camped outside with the group. That also allows you to heal. But I don't know, I don't want to make it more complicated here. And so we enter here, and this is now our mercenary, the elf. And we got the dog again. So let's see, I'm going to enter and start again with the scout. Now in this, yeah, one more thing here. So, actually 2 more things. We have now in the group 76 value points from the heroes alone. And then we have to add 6 for the mercenary and another 1 for the dog. So that means we're now, excuse me, we're now at 83 points. Now this is kind of a little bit advanced group, but they call it an average group now. And that means things are getting a little bit harder. From now on, during a fight, we have to roll the die twice each turn if the first one does not trigger a card, a special power card. So it's also easier to forget, or even more, it's not easier, but there's a chances that we forget this, of course, but we'll see. So let's oh yeah, and one more thing. We don't have an achievement point tracker in this scenario, so we also don't have to, there's no chance to try my house rule. Instead,
the dark player started with the number of achievement points divided by 3, which was something like 23 or so. No, that's not true. I think it was actually 28. And then she had to spend exactly 8 points for the leader. So we're down to 20 now. That's not a lot. So I'm not sure why that is the case. Maybe we see only a few rooms until we get to the magic portal. I got no clue. What that means though is, again, it makes no difference how fast or how slow we are. However, once the magic portal opens, we only have 8 turns to kill the guy, or actually 7 turns because we are 4 heroes, so we have to subtract 1. So we have only 8 turns. Wait a second, gotta check that. If we have to get out or if we just have to... So we gotta kill the underworld sorcerer. Yeah, and then we have to kill him. We don't have to move out again or something. If we don't manage to do that and we're still within this magic portal, then we're killed, which is pretty tough. Okay, so we are now positioned here before the door, and I don't know, I think I already mentioned that this is a locked door. And this is always a problem. If you don't manage to open these locked doors silently, then the creatures or possible creatures behind would be warned. So I'm going to use a dexterity potion. I got a lot of these. She is a herbalist, so at the start of each adventure she is allowed to simply take a potion or start the quest with a potion of his choice. So I gave her a dexterity potion, and that allows us then to add 2 to dexterity plus 1 to use as combat, shooting and agility for during this turn and the next 2 turns. Okay, so we're going to drink that as a quick action, and then oh damn it, that's already a little tricky because I want to use the picklocks, and again I have this problem, and I'm really not sure if this is actually something I want to... I'm really considering changing the rules in this game, and because I'm thinking about it, makes more sense if one person could actually unlock the door and then the other person could open the door. There is no reason why a door that gets unlocked immediately opens. But okay, It's okay now. I think I'm fine because when the door opens, a new turn starts anyway, if there should be creatures behind. So I will have the time to exchange my weapon with the picklocks. So right now I just have the picklocks, and I have to do a dexterity test, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Exactly. So that's not so easy. I got a dexterity of... That's +2. I think this is... And the potion gives me +2. The picklocks give me +1. Yeah. Okay. So that means I need a 7. It's possible, but not easy. And I missed. Now I'm considering spending a fortune in that, and I think I'm gonna do it. I really want to open that door silently, so let's try again. Okay, this time I made it, and I hope that was worth it. If now there's nobody behind, it doesn't matter, but you know, I didn't want to take any chances here, because noise is something you absolutely want to avoid. So we can now simply discard this card. Okay, so let's see. And indeed we have an encounter, and I'm kind of happy about that. Okay, so actually we found the portal here. I think we're gonna, I don't know, is it open? Is it closed? The rules say it's closed, but that doesn't... You know what, I'm gonna leave it like this. So to indicate that it's closed, not that it matters, but... And so there are opening mechanisms, and there seem to be 3 of them, and they all have to be activated at the same time. And that means that you have to stand adjacent to them, and if you, only if you do that, you can activate the mechanisms, and then the portal will open. And I think from that point on, it will stay open for 7 turns, and then we got to kill the sorcerer. And that's pretty tough. I have no idea what these mechanisms are, but there are doors. One here, one here. So I assume they are probably in these other rooms somewhere. Okay, so first we're gonna have an encounter here because I rolled the die, and let's see what that is. Okay, that is a wandering creature, and according to the rules, there are special rules. A wandering creature in this means there are 2 imps with an improvised weapon in there. Now I wonder why that says 1 to 4. That's odd. Got no clue what that means. Shouldn't that be... Maybe that's 2 in. Maybe that's 2 then. Oh, maybe they only come in... That's really strange. If they usually come with... If they never come alone, for example, then maybe that indicates, depending on how many there are, that's maybe their value. So, okay, I'm going to treat them like 2, but it doesn't matter because, well, actually it does, because he has to pay for it. Well, okay, so I think I'm going to treat them like 2, and it also, the card also indicates he has to pay 2, so he's now down to 18 points, and we're going to spawn 2 of these imps. Okay, so there are our 2 imps, and yeah, they shouldn't be too impressive here. They got a underworld small, so they are a little harder to hit. Those trying to shoot at these creatures suffers a -1 damage and takes 1 less damage die than usual from fire or flaming attacks. Oh, that's interesting. So I assume the green flame, the gods crush them, they do a little bit less damage. Also immune to the conditions poisoned and diseased, and ignores extra damage from poison, ignores complete darkness. It also ignores spells demonic seduction and placate tempers. Okay, well, fair enough. So let's see. we have to go through the through the roll, the initiative roll, and so they get a +1, or they get a 1, but I have a 1 for the ambush, a 1 for the sharp senses, a 1 for the dog, and I am allowed to reroll once. So I'm in a really good position, I think. So let's see. Yeah, okay. Easy, and yeah, that is no problem at all. So we can start this, and let's see, with a little bit of luck, it might actually be possible for me to kill them with my first shot, but I'm not sure. I mean, this guy is right. I'm pretty sure I can do that. At least this guy. And he seems to be in a... He's got a -2 because this is probably a heavy cover, I think. So if I try to shoot this guy, it's going to be a -2. I could move one space a little closer, you know. I think I'm going to do that, and then he's no longer in cover. I have then a -1 modifier against this guy, but you know, that should not be an issue. Because of the ambush, I can also re-roll the first attack if it fails. So let's see. That wasn't so great. So I might have to re-roll that, and I think that is actually the case. That's a 5. Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-roll that. Okay, that's much better. So that gives us 5 dice. So the guy only has an armor of 3, and he needs 3 damage. So I guess this is looking good. Ugh, boy, was that bad. Yeah, okay, that was ridiculous. So he takes only 1 damage, and it seems we have to take a second shot on him. Yeah, okay. So, and again I missed. Wow, that was bad. What a horrible start. You know, actually I didn't miss, because I got my dexterity potion, which gives me +1 to my shooting. And this is exactly what I need to hit. So, yeah, that was a hit. So I get another 4 dice, and hopefully this time I can do it. Okay, so this time I got 3 hits, so that means the first guy is killed. Ah! No! Damn, he isn't, because he was small. So that means I gotta subtract 1 again, and then a 5 does not hit. Because... Yeah, just a second. So I got a 5... +2 is a... No, +1 is a 6... -1 for the movement, and another -1. I gotta check that. Yeah, so I just calculated that again, and indeed I would have needed a 6 because the guy is small, and I only had a 5, so therefore I really missed that second shot. And I didn't manage to kill him. So he just took a single damage, which is obviously really bad. Okay. So what is my plan now? I think I'm going to simply move 2 spaces in here. And then I'm going to attack with the dwarf. And I'm going to use my fast attacks. And let's see. So the guy has only a combat value of 3. So, okay. I mean, that is really looking good now. So we can now use, I don't know, kind of like 8 dice or something like that. Yeah. Okay, now he's dead. Very good. And I'm gonna move into this space because I want to bring this guy 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can now move forward, and he's gonna go into berserker mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's gonna go in here and also attack. Okay, so I got 2 attacks. Let's see. Oof. Holy shit. Yeah, so gotta do another one. Oh, look at that. I mean, what's going on with these imps? Incredible. That's not gonna be easy if they continue fighting like that. Oh boy, this is horrible. So, do I want to bring in the elf now? I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, that's what he's here for, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he have? Yeah, he has a lot of movement points, so you can easily go there. And he now also does an attack. So he has a combat value of 4. That's not so great, but it's still better than the imp, at least in theory. Okay, that was a hit. And now he does, with his broadsword, he does 4 damage dice. So let's see. Okay, that's 2 damage, which is pretty good. So the imp is actually now wounded. This guy is a hunter. That gives him a +1. So he's actually pretty good when it comes to these initiative rolls. He's got the sharp senses and the hunter. So this guy is actually a real alternative. He's pretty much as good as she is. Except for the lynx. But that is, yeah, that might be valuable to have a second guy who can do these initiative things. Okay, so let's see. Now the imp activates, and he seems to be just a standard melee fighter. Yeah. So he's gonna attack the enemy which is easiest to hit. He's gonna choose between the 2. Now let's see, we got, oh, by the way, I wonder, no, there was no critical hit, because if you do a critical hit against someone smaller than you, then this guy will be, I think he's going to be stunned. And I got to check these conditions, but the elf did not do a critical hit. So now let's see, who is easier to hit? Well, this guy has a 5, and this guy has a 4, so I guess the elf is going to be the target here. No, that's not correct, because he is in berserker mode. So there is a draw. So we go to the next one. The enemy that dealt the most damage during that turn. Now this is actually the elf. So he's going to attack the elf. Ah, that's not good. That is a critical hit against the elf. And with his improvised weapon, he does 3, he can roll 3 damage die, and the elf only has 4 life points. and an armor of 4. Okay, so 1 damage for the elf. Okay, and yeah, that's it. And then we go back and, well, we can... Oh, actually, you know what? But I forgot about that. Of course, I could have pushed the imp against the wall after my attack with the elf, and then he would have been dead, because he cannot be pushed back, so he takes an additional damage, and then that would have killed him. But it's too late for that now. So, well, I'm going to attack again with the elf. Oh gosh. Come on, look at that. And then the other guy will do it. And this is also not a success. Incredible. Okay, that is. So now I'm pretty sure we can do a lot of damage. I think we're talking about 7 dice here. That should be enough. Yeah, okay, so the imp is killed. Finally! And you know, again, I forgot to roll the die for the monsters. I should have rolled the die twice. Yeah, it sucks. But I know that happens, and it will happen in the future too. But then again, I forgot to push the imp. So it kind of evens out. I took a damage because of that mistake. But yeah, I should have rolled the die. That's important. I really have to try to remember that. That will definitely make a difference. So, okay. Let's see what we can do now. We go into the next turn, and we should... Well, actually, first we can use... I don't know, the dwarf is going to roll 2 dice to search these guys, and he finds a coin. And now we're going to bring these other guys closer. So, no, let's bring the dog in here, and the wizard goes there. And now I guess the scout will simply open this door. So yeah, let's roll a die for the trap. And there is no trap. Okay, so we found a corridor to a well, and we got another door here. Now let's see if there will be an encounter here. And indeed, there's an encounter again. And this is enemies spotted. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, so we gotta add 2 for the number, for the value points that we have, and then we're simply gonna roll a die. Oh boy, that's an 8. Holy crap. 2 she-devils, 2 imps with short bow. Okay, I mean that sounds dangerous. On the other hand, the imps don't sound too dangerous. She-devil, I don't know what that is. Okay, so 8 victory points, that's a lot. So that brings it already down to 10. That's not a bad thing necessarily. It means that you cannot improve the sorcerer at the end. So that is, I think that's pretty good. But we'll see what we have to face here. Okay, so back here we have the imps with a bow, and we got these she-devils here. And yeah, they're gonna approach us now. And we got to roll for initiative, of course. But you know, I think at that point I'm gonna load it up. And well, until now it's no big deal. I'm a little bit afraid here of the way that works with the portal, you know, the fact that we only have limited time, and I'm not absolutely sure how that actually will work out if we are sitting kind of distributed between the different mechanisms. I don't know. I mean, do we have to run back then to fight that wizard? Because if that's the case, we might trigger a lot of maybe traps or something, and that could be very dangerous in this case. So I'm not actually sure how I want to do that. And well, I guess we'll find out. So yeah, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.